So today I thought I'd show you where I do all my stuff down here in the old dungeon, deep in the bowels of the McAnally household. But all right, here we are. So I kind of named this room the South Street Dungeon because, as you could see, there's no fucking windows in here, and which is crazy because I'll be down here and I'll not even realize that it's like, you know, the sun's coming up if I get really into something or whatever. But anyhow, name stuck, so that's what we have here. So I thought I'd just go ahead and show you just some of the random things in here and what it's all about. So these are the different acoustic guitars that I work with, and a now 4-string banjo at the moment. I snapped this 5th one last night, which any banjo players out there know that's pretty easy to do. But anyhow, this is just a Washburn that I've had for quite a while now. But I am by no means the world's greatest banjo player, but I can, if you need hillbilly noises, I got them, man. This is a Martin D18 that I've had for, actually I got this year. This was, if you've looked at any of the Jefferson Dust, like some of the acoustic things I did and some of the streams last year, I actually sold that guitar I was using and got this guy. I wanted a proper D18, and sounds amazing. I don't know if you can tell in this light, but looks super cool too. Love it. Awesome axe. And then I also use this 12-string. This is an Alvarez that I got quite a while ago. It was used, and I think it's from the early 80s, just kind of based on how it looks and you know, just some of the figuring and the headstock designs that were, I kind of know were early Alvarez things from the 80s. But this is a great sounding guitar. Play it all the time. In fact, it's due for some string changes here, so that'll happen probably this weekend. But sounds great. Use it on pretty much everything in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, those are the acoustics. Just my random drawers full of nonsense down here, strings and whatnot. Actually got that door stuck, the bottom one the other day. Down here, got all the merch and stuff that we're gonna have for the Derision Cult release. Much shiny stickers just came in. Sweet, man. Few other things back here, but yeah, anytime we're doing stuff like that, we kind of just keep it down here. This is an amp that goes to 11, just that one more in case we need to get over the hump. No, actually it's a refrigerator. I've had this for a while. I'm loath to say I don't have anything in here except those are some brownies my friend made for me in case I want to taste the colors, which every one of us does once in a while. Strong shit, man. Had an awesome King Crimson concert last week with those. This is a bottle opener out of a 50 caliber shell that my brother got me for standing up in his wedding. It's me and a bunch of Navy SEALs at that. Just got a bunch of mic stands and actually got that green screen, and the first day I got it, I broke it and it doesn't retract. So hoping that we don't, I can actually use it without having a bunch of wrinkles in it. Doing the best I can, but I have a feeling I'll probably be getting a new green screen before this is all said and done. This is actually this Iron Maiden Tapestry. When I was in the ad industry or ad business downtown, I used to have that hanging in my office, and I got in trouble, man, because it made me look off-putting to a couple customers or clients. I'll name names. McDonald's was the one that apparently made noise about. So I brought it home, stuck it up down here, and so that's where it is. And speaking of tapestries, this is a David Bowie one I got at a 97 stop on the Earthling tour, and sweet Tapestry. And apparently, I've looked on eBay. They're hard. He must have just had them for that tour or something, because they're going for a lot more money than what I paid for. But anyway, I've had that forever, so I hang that wherever I'm at. This is the nerve center of everything I do. You can see down here, this is sort of the rack for various things. This is just a drawer with random cables. I do most of my guitar stuff in the box, or in the computer now, or in the DAW with plugins and whatnot, but I have a few pedals that I keep just because they aren't replicated. Or they don't feel that well replicated with plugins to me, but I love these Electro Harmonix pedals. This is the B9 one. They track freakishly good for what they are. You don't necessarily use them for straight organ sounds, but just to have effects and stuff like that. Got the Boss synth pedal, mandatory. This is some random cello thing I got that it doesn't sound like a cello. It's more warbly, swishy shit. But everyone needs effects like that at some point. DBX 286, do vocals and things through that. This is just an ART tube amp, and then just a Furman powers everything right there. All of that runs into this right here, which is, at least when I'm doing guitars, that's a tuner, and then goes into this PreSonus, and then into the computer, which I just actually just hopped everything up on this Mac Mini last December, and yeah, that's kind of what the signal looks like. This is just a Zoom mixer I got for doing podcasts, Zoom calls, things like that. So just makes it easier having it up there versus plugging everything in. This is just a laptop that I got for doing. Actually, I end up doing a lot of Photoshop things on there, but that's just a Windows machine I keep around. Hey, look at this. Charlotte and Zinc right there. Be out in a couple weeks, depending on when you see this. And, oh yeah, Purgatory line. Moving on, got a couple floor things that I use. I find myself using wah pedals less and less, but I keep a couple around. Of course, Digitech Whammy. I used to have an original one of those. Actually, Doug from Hell's Own Drag had one, but I ended up having it for like 10 years or something like that, and finally got around to giving it back to him. So I got the reissue, and they say that the originals sound better, have a better, more natural sweep, and that may be true, but for what I use them for, you can't hardly... I don't think there's enough clarity in the signal by the time I muck it all up to for that to really be noticeable. This is the Jerry Cantrell Crybaby. One thing that's cool about that is it has this sweep on the side. You can adjust the sweep range on it. I find myself using that because a typical wah pedal will have if the range that it's in is great for like leads and stuff like that, or where you really want the mid range to really pop. But you can make this so if you have it on some of the lower ends, it's really good for lower register stuff. It can really still make that that wah sound come through. So cool to play with. This is a Kirk Hammett wah pedal, because of course Kirk Hammett has his own wah pedal. But I've had that for a while. It's just, to my ears, I don't notice a huge difference between that and a stock Crybaby. It just happens to be the one I have. So there we are. But yeah, that's what I have on the floor down here. These are just some of the mics that I'm using lately. I've got... this is a Snowball that I use for just Zoom calls and stuff like that. It's USB. I probably am not going to be using that much now that I got that new mixer. But Shure SM7B right here. It's a Rode NT1A. I've been doing a lot of my vocals with this lately. It's got a... I just like the way it sounds. And then over here, that Rode I pretty much use for all condenser mic duties. It's that's an awesome mic for the money. Anyone who has one will tell you. So, yeah, those are what I'm using for mics, for the most part down here lately. For guitars, this is a Wild Audio Blood Eagle, and I got this. Actually, I got it because I just thought the finish on this was sweet with the flat black and the exposed wood, and I don't know. I guess like these kind of Zakk Wylde Viking design things, you either like them or you don't. But I thought it was pretty cool, and I was curious to see what these necks would be like too, because I read a lot of reviews saying that, you know, they're just super beefy, and they are, man. These are, I don't know if you can tell this, but or if you have one of these, you know, these necks are enormous, and they're great for like rhythm stuff, or I like them at least for chugging out rhythms. I've put these are the James Hetfield EMGs in here. The only other mod I've done to this is I swapped out the knobs for these metal ones. I find, you know, when I'm doing rhythm stuff and you know, just metal things, I tend, especially recording, I tend to lean on the tone knobs a little bit, and I just like having that grip that these have on there. So I swapped those out. But yeah, other than that, this is a cool guitar for the money, man. I think you can get those for like $1,200 or something like that. So those are nice. I did an unboxing of this guitar. This is the Kirk Hammett Ltd Esp Eclipse. Probably sounds like I'm a big Kirk Hammett gearhead fan, but a lot of it's just coincidence, honestly. But when this came out, the original reason I wanted to try this was because these are the Kirk Hammett Bone Breaker pickups, and everything I've read, or not everything, but there have been things that have been written that suggest that these pair with those James Hetfield pickups pretty well. Like the curves are meant to blend together. So I was curious if that was actually true. Short answer is they definitely sound different. I don't know that necessarily makes them pair better or anything, but these feel to me like they're not quite as warm as those, or those have more of kind of a lower mid vibe to them. And I think some of that's probably the bridge too. You know, you got this big hunk of metal right here versus, you know, tailpiece like that, which is going to make a difference in the sound. But both these are pretty. This is a chunky guitar. Super fun to play though. I don't know if you can really see the scallop frets right there, but love playing that. Use that for, I find myself using that for a lot of leads and metal, you know, metal leads, things like that. So yeah, that's what I've been using. A lot of the new Derision Cult, Charlotte and Zinc, that plays greatly into it. This is just an SG standard. I got this last year, and it's become kind of my go-to guitar for Purgatory line and just hard rock stuff. Channel my inner Tony Iommi with it, I suppose. But if you know them, you know what they are. Sounds great, fun to play, nice and light. This down here is the David Bowie Supro dual tone, and they did a limited run of 400 of these. Looks like I have 198. This guitar is like heavier than you'd think too. It's actually a pretty beefy guitar, but this in terms of sound, and I opted for the one that doesn't have the Bigsby just because I already have stuff with Bigsby's, and this kind of worked for me. But it's got a real kind of bright tone. These pickups, I don't really know much about them, to be honest. They're stock, they're what comes with them, but they don't quite have the chunkiness of like a Les Paul or something like that, or it doesn't feel that way. And I forget what this wood is, so I couldn't tell you anything about that. But it's great for, I have a few Jefferson Dust things I'm doing with it. But to me, it's a very specific sound. You know, so when I know when to reach for it and when not to. But But yeah, still David Bowie thing, super cool guitar, obviously huge Bowie fan, so that works for me. Comes with these cool certificate of authenticities. So yeah, that's what that is. This is just a Les Paul standard. It's a 60s. I got this same time I got that SG. I love it. You know, I use this all over the place on all kinds of different things. Looks like we need to give it a cleaning, but this is the 60s one, so you'll notice the knobs are not the 50s version. The neck's a little thinner than what you'd see in the 50s, so it's kind of somewhere between this and this as far as what the neck's like, but I use that on a bunch of different stuff. I picked this up mainly because I love these guitars for slide and things like that, but this is just the, this is that Gretsch that's like I forget the model, but it's like at that $1,000 price point. And I use this for, there's a few new things with Jefferson Dust I'm doing with this. The new Sis machine that's going to be coming out. There's a lot of clean guitar stuff I did with this. This is a super fun guitar to play. It's very loud, very resonant. I am going to switch these pickups out, though. I have another guitar upstairs that has the proper Brian Setzer Filtertrons in them, or TV Jones, and these are not those. It's quite apparent, and I'd put them in here, except those have gold hardware, or they're gold, and this is chrome hardware on here, so can't have it mismatching, man. So probably redo that. This is just an American Telecaster. Awesome guitar, super great workhorse. Use it all over the place on Jefferson Dust. Made a couple appearances on the Derision Code album. But super fun to play. Super easy to play too. These freaking maple necks, I love them. But yeah. This is actually an Epiphone Thunderbird bass that I use for random bass things. I bought this off my brother. He was moving and he bought a P bass and had this and asked if I wanted it, and I said, well, of course. So yeah, this isn't actually a whole. I know on the proper Gibsons this is like all neck through. That's not what this is, but I use it for a lot of ideating and stuff like that. Kind of have a bass around. I did an unboxing of this. This is the Reverend Airwave 12 string, and I've come to really enjoy playing that guitar, man. I've already done a couple things with it since like recording wise since I did that video. And I'm just finding more and more things about it, more and more ways to put tones together with it. And it just looks rad, man. I'm loving that kind of vintage blue and white more and more every time I see it. So this is an awesome guitar. Highly recommend them. This is my first time really having experience with Reverend and like their build quality and stuff. And man, for the money, these are great guitars. Let's see what else up here. You probably can't see that with the color, but that's my daughter's footprint from 2016. My mom made that for me. Had that in my office for a long time, and it just seemed more fitting down here. That is possessed by some kind of demon. That has been following me around for various places that I've lived since the 90s. Hand to God, I don't pack it. I don't actually try to take it with me. It just somehow ends up wherever I am. So pretty sure that's like some sort of guardian angel or guardian demon, whatever it is. But been there forever, and I guess that's old Homer's going to be following me around for the rest of my days. That's from the Electronic Saviors that I did. Jim sent me that. This is my stepson kind of got to where he was too old to play with action figures, and my wife was going to take that to Goodwill. And I was like, no, women. Over here, yeah, you can see these are just pictures from those guitars leaving the Gibson factory. Gibson sends those with all the new guitars, so you can like have proof that they actually got inspected, I guess. But pretty cool to have hanging over the guitars. So yeah, man, this is where I do all my video and all my things. In these closets, I've got all those guitars have. You probably can't see that, but all the guitars have cases and things, so those are all in here. I actually was thinking about at some point turning this into like a vocal booth, but then all this has got to go somewhere, and I haven't quite worked that out. But there's enough room in there. You could do something interesting like that, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. You have yourself a nice day. We'll see you soon.